We're into the back half of the season, and I know I'm recording this a day late, so it'll be up tomorrow, Friday, after Thursday night's game. I was supposed to film it either last night or this morning, but I didn't have time. So the script is going to be as though it's Wednesday night or Thursday morning. I got all the transactions up to date, but I'm going to be talking about people who are playing in the game right now as though they're playing in Friday night's game, if that makes sense. I'm going to say things like tonight's game when I mean what is technically yesterday's game, which for me is happening right now. All that said, the dogs are also in the room now with me instead of the futon. So they're over here. That way, this room back here is where they were before, but that room is empty now. So the green screen's not up. All this to say, I'm here. We're in the back half of the season now. I just hit my microphone with my fingers. You know what? We're just going to do it. We're going to be fine. We're going to start off by talking about the games that happened last week. There were 7 of them, as always. Starting off, myself, Eric, and Dave played their 21st overall matchup last week. I opened up with 32 points from Aaron Jones and DeAndre Hopkins on Thursday night, but Jared Goff, Myles Gaskin, and Jared Cook all came up way short. Dave, on the other hand, got predictably great weeks from DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, and Darrell Henderson, pushing him to a 116-95 win and sending him back up to first place. Dave will look to keep the momentum rolling this week as he takes on Anna. Natalie and Kyle, 2 of the highest scoring teams in the league, played the first game of the season to come up short of 150 total points scored. Not a single player on either roster broke 20 points, and only 7 players broke 10, including 1 kicker and 1 defense. CeeDee Lamb and Zach Moss were the only skill players to meet their projections, which gave Natalie the win by a score of 75.92 to 73.44. Both teams remain in the top 4 this week as Natalie moves on to face Carolina. Anna and Susan played their 4th overall meeting last week. Amari Cooper and Tyler Lockett each scored 26.2 points, and coming into Monday night, Anna was down 15 points with Devontae Booker, Sterling Shepard, and Graham Gano looking to outscore Travis Kelce. Kelce and the Chiefs defense, that is. Kelce had a quiet night, allowing Anna to secure the win by a score of 104-91. Susan takes her 6th loss in 7 games, and she'll need to bounce back. She takes on Kyle this week. Kathy and Rachel had their first and only matchup this week. Unfortunately for Kathy, Damian Williams left his game early after losing 3 yards on 2 runs, and Mike Williams only had 2 catches for 19 yards. Rachel, on the other hand, got 30 points from Michael Pittman, who's playing right now this week, and 21 more from Jonathan Taylor, which was enough to push her to her 5th win of the season by a score of 114-98. She'll have a chance to make it 2 in a row this week as she takes on Kang. You'll never guess who won the Battle of the Dans last week. My money's on Dan. 9 players broke 20 points in this one, including A.J. Brown, who put up 31 for Dan. Win more than Natalie has this one settled before Dalton Schultz even took the field on Sunday night, and Schultz's 3 points pushed the total up, with Dan taking the W over Kang by a score of 164-142. Kang falls down to 5th, and Dan jumps up to 8th place. Dan takes on Jared in Week 9. Jared took on Catherine this week, coming in on a 3-game win streak. His luck kept him on the same path this week with a breakout 32-point game from Jets rookie running back Michael Carter. Catherine didn't get quite the same stellar numbers from Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase that she got last week, leaving her with only 119 points to Jared's 141. Catherine falls to 3-5 with a loss after starting the season 2-2. She'll hope to get back on track as she faces Eric this week. In the game of the week, it was a Rfffl Bowl rematch from last year as Caroline took on Eric with a K. Unfortunately, Caroline ran out of whatever magic she had last year that made everyone play poorly against her. A goose egg from Robbie Anderson and a down week from Kyler Murray, which ended with an ankle injury and an interception, left Caroline out to dry, especially with little help from the rest of her squad. She took a rough loss in this one, 117-80. Eric with the K is back up to 500 and will hope to jump up further against Kathy this week. Let's take a look at what that does to our standings. Kyle's loss to Natalie pushed him out of the top spot, which is once again claimed by Dave. Natalie jumps up to 2nd place over Kyle, who falls down to 3rd. 4th place is now held by Jared. Kang fell down to 5th, and Rachel stays in 6th. Eric with a K is up to 7th. Dan jumps up to 8th. Ninth is held by Catherine, followed by Anna, Eric, Kathy, Caroline, and Susan. As of right now, the team in first is only in the playoffs by 2 games, and the team in last is only out by 3. Let's go ahead and look at our transactions, which have been updated as of Thursday night. Caroline dropped the Ravens defense, added Randall Cobb, and dropped Kenny Galladay before the games. And then after, she dropped Matt Prater, Robbie Anderson, and Randall Cobb for Taysom Hill, Michael Gallup, and Alan Lazard. She then dropped Taysom Hill for Jordan Love and picked up Blake Bortles as well. And then she dropped Irv Smith, who has been on injured reserve. Kyle adds David Johnson and dropped Samaje Perine before the games last week. He also dropped Cole Kmet to pick up Tommy Sweeney. He picked up Darius Slayton and then dropped Darius Slayton for Adrian Peterson. And he dropped Tommy Sweeney for Jamal Williams. It's hard to follow because I kind of wrote it piecewise, but we're all there. Catherine dropped the Broncos to grab the Seahawks defense and then dropped the Seahawks defense for the Dolphins after the games. I dropped Tyson Williams for Nyheim Hines and Traquan Smith for Odell Beckham Jr. I also dropped Savon Ahmed for Jared Goff, and then after the games, dropped Jared Goff and kicker Jason Myers to bring Jerry Jeudy and David Montgomery back off of reserve. Then the news broke that Michael Thomas is out for the season, so I dropped him as well. Kathy dropped Zane Gonzalez to pick up Boston Scott. Eric with a K dropped Rondale Moore to pick up Darnell Mooney. Dropped Kenneth Gainwell to pick up Justin Fields. Dropped Mason Crosby to pick up Jeff Wilson. And pick up Taysom Hill with Rodgers on COVID reserve. Aaron Rodgers, that is. Jared dropped Ricky Seals-Jones to pick up rookie tight end Pat Freiermuth. Dave dropped Deshaun Watson and Ryan Suckup for Jeremy McNichols and Joey Sly. And then Robbie Gould came back off of IR and replaced Sly. So Dave dropped Sly to pick up Gould. Dan dropped Ronald Jones and the Bucs defense and picked up the Ravens defense. I think I got all of them. I'm not positive. Anyway, let's move ahead to this week's upcoming matchups, by which I mean the matchups that started about an hour ago. We'll start with Jared taking on Dan in their 5th overall meeting. Dan has won 3 out of the first 4, including both of their games last year. He'll have 4 players on bye this week, most notably Chris Godwin, who will be replaced by Jarvis Landry. Jared, on the other hand, will be missing Seahawks running backs, leaving Michael Carter in the lineup at RB2. Dan gets the last say in this one with Matt Gay and the Rams taking on A.J. Brown and the Titans on Sunday night. And NFL.com has this one within a point at 124.05 to 123.67 or something. I think I calculated that projection before Dan picked up the Ravens defense. Up next, Catherine takes on Eric in their first of 2 meetings this year. She'll be without Mike Evans this week, which means we'll see Elijah Mitchell come off the bench to fill the flex spot. Eric, on the other hand, gets Marquise Brown back from his bye, and with Jerry Jeudy coming off of IR, his receiving core has options. If Jamison Crowder plays for the Gators, which he does, he's in tonight right now, he'll be the one to kick the game off on Thursday night. Alternatively, it could be Chase Claypool on Monday night to close the game out. That is currently the plan if DeAndre Hopkins doesn't play. I should clear that up because that was all speculation before, but now it's set in stone. Either way, I'm projected to win 118 to 118, but smaller number. Up next, Susan faces number 1 Kyle this week. Pardon me, number 2 Kyle. My fault. Is he number 3 now? Is Kyle number 3 now? I said it earlier. I think he's number 3 now. Kyle and the Bummer Drummers won last year's matchup 122 to 89, and yep, 2021 blows as well. Couldn't be more right. David Johnson is the highest projected running back in this matchup, ahead of Dallas backup Tony Pollard, Saints backup Mark Ingram, and Bengals backup Samaje Perine. Kyle lost Derrick Henry to a foot injury, and Miles Sanders is out on a bad ankle. He's still projected near the top of the league with help from the hopefully COVID-free Devontae Adams, and he'll have Deontay Johnson to close it out against Chris Boswell, who actually might not play. I think he was on concussion protocol. Anyway, that all happens Monday night. NFL.com likes Kyle to take this one 127 to 90. Up next, Caroline versus Natalie. We've got a sibling fight this week. Natalie holds an 8-2 overall record in the matchup, but Caroline won both meetings last year, including last year's semifinals. Caroline will be short-staffed in the backfield with Leonard Fournette out, bringing Mike Davis into the mix with Javonte Williams. Natalie will be without Terry McLaurin, leaving her flex spot open to Zach Moss. This will be an all-Sunday affair with Natalie slated to take it 117 to 105. Up next, Anna takes on the league's top scorer in Dave this week. She's yet to take a game from Dave in her career, and this year looks about the same. She'll be missing DeAndre Swift and Tyler Lockett on bye, Noah Fant on COVID reserve unless he passes vaccinated protocol, and Sterling Shepard out due to an injury alongside likely Saquon Barkley. Dave won't have Rob Gronkowski or DK Metcalf, but his pickup of Jeremy McNichols will let him slot Darrell Williams into the flex position, and Mike Gesicki will stay in at tight end. This one is all Sunday as well, with Stafford taking on Darrell Henderson, Cooper Kupp, and Jeremy McNichols on Sunday night. Dave is projected to take it 122 to 103. Kathy has a matchup with Eric with a K this week. Eric took both of their meetings last year, and this year he'll need some help. Someone to step in for TJ Hawkinson at tight end, and his Washington running backs are on bye, leaving the work to Chase Edmonds and either CMC or Chuba Hubbard. That was all a run-on sentence in my script. I should have proofread. Most notably, as I said, Aaron Rodgers will miss this week due to COVID-19 protocols. He's reportedly not vaccinated, meaning he'll have a 10-day isolation period to clear before he plays again. Eric picked up Justin Fields to cover his QB spot. Kathy will be without Khalif Raymond, but her recent pickup of Boston Scott could be enough to get her back in the win column. I think when I wrote that, she was projected to win, which is crazy to think about. Let me go look real quick while I got it pulled up. She's projected to win because Mo Alley Cox has done nothing in this game, and Eric with the K, does not have a kicker in. I'm not sure what else is going on there. It seems like a bigger deal than the 25-point spread they've got right now, 108 to 83. Anyway, and then the last one, all that's left, is Kang versus Rachel. That's the game of the week this week. It's a newcomer matchup, and it's number 5 Kang against number 6 Rachel. Kang doesn't have Tom Brady, Antonio Brown, or Gio Bernard this week, as he takes on Rachel's full-strength squad. He'll need a big week from Ben Roethlisberger and likely Christian Kirk to keep up with Rachel, whose star tandem of Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman will kick the game off tonight against the Jets. By tonight, I mean right now. It's happening right now as I'm filming, and it's going pretty well for Jonathan Taylor. But Kang will close it out with Najee Harris and Big Ben on Monday against the Bears. NFL.com has Kang taking this one 117 to 106 on the back of a big week from Austin Eckler. So it took quite a bit to get through, but we got the video made. And we will see you next week, I guess. Go Bills. This one was a struggle.